Okay, hello everybody. Hi. And for those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, welcome to my channel. Welcome to the Becoming community. For those of y'all who are coming back, thank you so much for tuning in again and for all of your support. We are just going to jump right on into things. Pardon my little 4 or 5 minutes there. Y'all know how I do with technology if you've been watching already so far. It ain't my thing, it takes a little second for me. But thank you again, like I said, for tuning in. First thing I want to dive right into is that I have been, thinking a lot lately about mental health and how we are coping with things. As some of y'all who have already tuned in can see by the title, we're just going to talk a little bit about how we cope with stress, how we deal with the pressures of life, whether that be in your relationships, on your jobs, in your home. It doesn't have to be someone you're dating. It could be your friends, it could be family, whoever it is. Needless to say, life is stressful. Things are stressful. Right now, things are stressful for a lot of people. I think the number is up to over 30 something million people who are out of jobs and things of that nature. And so, it's tough. It's tough out here. It can be tough. It can get tough, but there is a way to discuss how to, just cope with that, how to move forward, how to um, not complain so much, not get so frustrated, not let it wear on you and tear on you, on your mental health, on your emotional health. So we're just going to jump right on into that. Feel free to drop some comments if y'all are already here. Just say a little something to me, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and get things started. Okay, so and I don't think I mentioned it, but you can see it. You should be able to at the bottom of my screen. That my name is Kara. If y'all, for those who don't know, or maybe somebody else invited you, sent you this way. And if you want to know more about what Becoming is or what we do, what we are all about, go back. Feel free to check out some of the previous videos that I've already posted. Okay. All right. So for tonight, um, like I said, we are, gonna spend a little bit of time talking about how we dealing with some stuff. Okay, so first things first. Um, a lot of us are blessed to have jobs. Gonna spend a little bit of time, talking about this particular area of how we are coping with stress. So, your job is extremely stressful, can be extremely stressful, can frustrate you, can just the people you work with, the managers you deal with or who you work under, supervisors. Um, I know the feeling. I know exactly how that goes. And some of you who are tuning in tonight are, maybe 16, 17, 18. Maybe you are working your first job. You've never done it before. And so, just if you would like to, if you don't feel too like, I ain't finna say all of that, just drop how, make it a short little comment about what your job, like what you feel on your job. Do you feel like I love my job? I love my coworkers. I mean, I like going to work every day. Or do you feel like, I'm stressed out. I can't stand it here. I'm tired of this church, like the little boy said. Um, if y'all hadn't seen the video, sorry, we're not going to spend too much time on that. You missed it. Okay, it's gone. But drop a little something, and talk about first things first, how you feel about your job. If you say, like I said, you enjoy it, cool, great. Even if you say you enjoy it, how, because truth be told, when people ask, how are you? How have you been? How are things going? We're quick to say, I'm good, I'm fine, it's good, it's fine, everything's cool. But that's not always the case. That's not always true, and we know that. And so, that being said, um, just readjusting there, guys. That being said, if it's not always okay, then say that too. And we can discuss tonight how we're going to start learning to cope with some things. So, as you're doing that, contemplating all of that good stuff, first thing I want to tell you is that I was reminded of a job experience that wasn't the best that I had. Um, but I don't know. I think it was just a lot of just trying to pray and push on through it, that helped me to get through. But honestly, it was a job where everything was new to everybody. The environment was new to everybody. It was a brand new, um, like facility that was opening up, and so everything was really new. And to make my little long story short, um, basically nobody really knew how to do what they were supposed to be doing. Nobody really knew the role or the job that they were in. A lot of people, they were in that role for the very first time. It was a brand new company. So it was, needless to say, kind of stressful, a little disorganized, and well, kind of all over. I saw one of the people who was doing a job that I was like, I'm not used to this. I've never done any work like this, not necessarily. The only thing I had done was something similar while I was in high school. And so I'm like, okay, this is a little new for me too, and I don't really care for it all too swell. But like I said, I tried to push through it and have a positive attitude. So let's put a pin there. How are you dealing with the things on your job or any area in life that's stressful for you, that's not ideal, is not what you really want it to be, and just drop a comment. You can say, I complain every second of every day, and I hate it here, and I don't want to be there, and I make sure they know it. I mean, keep it 100 if that's what it is. Or if you're like, I just try to be positive, but sometimes it gets hard, and eh, I'm like 50-50. I'm in there somewhere. Um, or if you're like I said, I love it. I mean, because sometimes it may not be the environment or the people. It could be, for instance, I've had a job where I was like, I like the people that I'm serving or that are customers. It's these people I work with. That's a different story. Or vice versa. Working with these people is not so bad. These customers about to get on my last nerve. And so, it's always kind of gonna be something. It's always gonna be some situation that's going to frustrate you, that's going to stress you out. Um, it's a great thing if you have a positive environment, positive coworkers, positive people you're working for, whoever, but it doesn't always work out like that. So you have to kind of learn to deal with that. And try to something I literally did this week, y'all. I was like feeling a little like on edge and a little touchy. I was like snappy while I was driving and had a kind of like little negative attitude, honestly. And I was like, you know what? For everything that's bad that somebody does or that I get upset about or irritates me, let me try to find something positive. One thing, maybe even two, if I wanted to, just kind of outweigh the good with or outweigh the bad with the good, I would be like, let me find something to say, what, good news is, it could be worse. I could, like, while I'm driving, you cutting me off, and what is wrong with you? I mean, what are you doing? Drive like you got some sense, but I'm like, you know what? So cut me off, cut a little too close to hit my car, and I'll get in an accident. And then, nobody wants that, obviously. So, I'm like, there's the positive of it, trying to basically not complain too much, or even if you're like something that's just pushing me a little too far, it's getting on my nerves just a little too much, or I'm a little agitated, I'm a little touchy today. Not today. Not me, not the one, not today, not before. Um, So you just simply are like, let let me say something that, you know, could escalate bad. I think that when you do that, one thing that really helps me. Yeah, it's not like I'm not gonna act like that. I'm not gonna act like I don't have issues with what someone does, how they act towards me, how they treat me. Um, but my mom told my siblings something when we were growing up. She always say, "Two wrongs don't make a right." And so, just because they do wrong doesn't mean you have to do wrong. Break it down there, basically. Um, and so I kind of have carried that obviously throughout my life and tried Hi, everybody. I am so sorry about the technical issue. I am back. Um, I can't live with nor without it. So as I was saying, we're it's worthwhile for us to consider how we are coping with the stressors of life. Are we, you know, complaining about them a lot of the time? Are we, just kind of like, I'm mad and I'm gonna stay mad and I'm gonna be mad and everybody gonna know I'm mad. Michelle, I see that comment about, yeah, that's one of the major stressors right now. So if you are still working, it is stressful because it's like I, have to be around people and I have to kind of be concerned about your health and your safety, of course. And so, um, yeah, that's something that will definitely make it hard to work, especially I think a lot of us are feeling a lot of strain, a lot of a heightened sense of stress and worry and anxiety, to be really truthful about it. And so, that being said, um, not only on your job is that the case, but in a lot of areas of our lives. And as I mentioned before, we're quick to tell people, I'm okay, I'm doing fine, I'm good, but that's not really the case. So, um, that being said, I think it's worthwhile to really talk about our mental health and emotional health and how we are. Um, Stress is one of those things that we have to, monitor and really kind of be attentive about. But not only that, um, but are you feeling sad and depressed or lonely or like, there's nobody that I really can talk to about stuff or confide in? Um, are you feeling, if we're really truthful about it, people, a lot of people can have suicidal thoughts and suicidal tendencies, and or even we hear about people um dying by suicide. And it's like, why? How? Who? What? Them? They seemed fine. They were okay. In the time that, we kind of had our little break, I guess you could call it, with 4th of July and everything between now and the last time we streamed, there was a young lady who was really well known and prominent on TikTok, um, who was 15, 16, if I'm not mistaken, who died by suicide. And so, that being said, a lot of people remember she was always dancing, she was always smiling, she seemed so chipper and happy and giddy and all this stuff on TikTok. And so that's one thing that is worth considering is that, which in this may be a little bit of a discussion for another live stream, but everything that we see on the cameras, on social media, out in public is not true. And a lot of times we do ourselves a disservice and other people a disservice when we just aren't honest about what we think or how we feel or what we're going through. And so that's something to take into consideration. So that leads me to ask the question, how are you really? How are you really doing? How are you really coping with stress? How are you really managing your relationships, your attitude, and um, your job? How are you really handling it? Are you and feel free to actually comment, drop that comment and say, I handle it okay, I do okay. Or, whatever it is that you want to share. Um, and what are some strategies that you may use that you're already using. Hopefully, all of you are using something where you're like, I'm, trying to stay positive. I write in a journal. I have a mental health professional that I talk to, or my pastor, or a mentor, someone that I really confide in, that I talk to when I'm going through something, when I'm really stressed out on my job, when I'm really stressed out in my with my friendships or relationships, or because I maybe you talk to your parents about stuff and maybe you don't. Maybe you're like, I can't talk to them about stuff. Or you may, some of y'all may truthfully feel like my parents are a lot of the reason that I feel stressed out sometimes. And if that's your truth, that's okay. Um, but how are you really dealing with it? How are you really talking about it? How are you really addressing it? What are your strategies? Well, as you are, thinking of that, or dropping your comments in the section below, um, I can share with you, I guess, some of my strategies. For one, I pray, and that may not be the same for everyone. I've mentioned that in previous, live streams. And so that's something that I personally do. And it is very effective for me. It is very helpful. But not only that, I, talk to people that I can confide in. Not everyone. Okay. Operative word is people you can confide in. That may not be everyone. You can't tell everybody everything. And honestly, truth be told, you may even feel like sometimes you know, even the people that I would think I can confide in, or they may be just certain things where you're like, you may be able to talk to your mom about everything else, or your best friend about everything else, your sister or whoever. But you're like, this one thing, mm, I'm about ready to maybe take this one to the grave. I don't know how to feel about this, about something that I'm stressing about or I'm anxious about, or, I just, even if it's not something that you figure is super big and super like, I got to go talk to somebody about this. If you're frustrated and stressed out about things on your job, but you're like, I'll deal with it. Or, you're just like, once I get to go punch that clock and get out of here, you know, I'll deal with it. But then you come back and you're stressed again and you're frustrated again and you're anxious again. And so you never really deal with the issue. You just kind of push it down and don't deal with it. And I'll get over it, or I'll, once I get some time off, I got 2 days off and I'll be good to go. But, that's not always the best thing to do. It's not the healthiest thing for you to do. I can attest to a personal experience. A lot of us are in school. We're really young. We're millennials, that are most of us that are in this community we have. And so a lot of us are in school. I was beyond stressed out in school. And truth be told, I didn't really even know myself how stressed out I was. I was stressed because I had financial problems. I did not have the income that I had had coming in before, or prior to this point in time. I was not living on campus anymore, so I was like, we paying big girl bills. Hey, thank you. Shouts out. Hi y'all. But we paying big girl bills out here. We are, we got rent and utilities and gas and all that good stuff. And so, and I didn't have the income coming in anymore. I didn't even, y'all, get my refund check. Okay. I'm like banking on, you'd be like, all right, when I get this refund check, we're gonna be all right. Y'all, of all the times for me to not get my little refund, this was not the one. But it didn't come. Didn't get one that semester. And so I was stressed out because of personal stuff and trying to work, balance work and school at the same time, working and exhausted, beyond exhausted, y'all. I mean, I would get off of work at 11 o'clock at night, and the library that on the campus I was going to closed at 2 a.m. I remember having to do a midterm online after I got off work and go to the library and get it done before they closed at 2, but after I got off work at 11. I could barely keep my eyes open, and I was just like, oh dear God, like just come on back now, right now, because I'm over it. Um, and so, I said that to say that at one point I realized just how bad it was when I had to go to a class one day. And as I was sitting in that class, I had so much to do. I had an assignment that I needed to have turned in prior to when it was at that point in time. So it was late. I was mad, stressed out, and I literally just broke, y'all. It was just like the tear gates or the just floodgates were just my tear ducts, and I just started crying in class and literally hyperventilating. I could not breathe. I got up, I went to the bathroom, I tried to go. I mean, legit, y'all, this is in class, in the middle of class, professor up teaching. And I got up and went and tried to get myself together. And one of my friends and classmates came in the bathroom and, you know, she was trying to be helpful, but I'm like, I don't want you to see me just falling apart. I'm a hot mess over here. And I told her, just how I felt and what was going on. And I hadn't told anybody else. I hadn't confided in anybody else. So I just literally had like an anxiety attack in class, y'all. And so I said that to say that, one, it's really, really important for us to really be honest, really be transparent. How are you dealing with the stresses of life? How are you coping? How are you getting through it? Are you talking to anybody else? If nothing else, being honest with yourself. Y'all, at that point, I wasn't even honest with myself. I was like, I'm fine. I'll be okay. I'm all right. I was still telling myself that. I'm looking in the mirror like, oh, we're good. Get up and just take a lick and keep ticking, do it all over again. You're fine. You don't need sleep. You don't need rest. You don't need to not be stressed. You don't need to eat. You don't need any of that. You're just a robot. Yeah. Okay. And that robot broke that day. Okay. It was like somebody threw water on a electric outlet line or something. I don't know. And so it was just bad. And so again, y'all, I'm saying that to say that, you just have to really be honest with yourself, whether it's your job, whether it's school, whether it's other people in your life. That's first thing. Second thing, be honest with someone else who you can confide in. Write it down. Um, all of us, I know it ain't like that in every bank account to just go get a therapist or whatever. But the good news is, and this is something that I'm going to be posting these resources on Instagram, on the Facebook page I made. So just be on the lookout for 'em as far as resources for um, the suicide prevention and talk line. If you're really being honest and you say, you know what, I think I'm at a breaking point. Um, a lot of us, more of us than we believe or we've really discussed, have been through that, have felt that at some point in time or another. And so, one, we want to get rid of the stigma of we don't need to talk to anybody, or I don't want to tell anybody that I'm feeling suicidal or I'm feeling depressed. Um, I know I've been there. I can tell you a few stories, y'all, of all of this kind of stuff. I'm speaking from experience and not just like this would be a good thing to talk about. But I've been there, I felt that, I've done that. And so um that being said, there's no shame in saying, you know what, I need help. I need to talk to someone. I need to rest and relax and get away, maybe. Even maybe a strategy is to, just take some time for yourself and to yourself. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. Perhaps you can go to, Dubai somewhere and just take a wonderful vacation. Not many of us can right now, honestly. And so we kind of have to figure out a creative way to cope with our stresses and to, um, just get some things off our chest, take our mind off of things. Something that I told myself I was going to start doing is, if not more than once a year at my birthday, I'm going to take a getaway, even if it means going by myself, to just take some time for me, take some time to wind down and relax. Or if, my birthday is in November. So if I can't make it to November till I get ready to do that, and it's about April, and I'm like, okay, either I'm finna go somewhere like on vacation, or I'm finna go somewhere like jail. Either way, I guess it's a getaway, right? Seriously, but it's like, let me take some time for me. Even if I don't, maybe November's a little too far away. If you're like me and your birthday is in the latter half of the year and you're like, that sounds like a good idea, but I may not always make it to the end of the year. Or, obviously everybody's birthday only comes once. So it may be the opposite way around. It's the end of the year and you like, my birthday is not till June. I can't take this, And so just whatever works best for you. Writing things down. I've done that before, literally wrote down in a journal. Today was not a good day. Let me tell you why. And so just being real like that, being transparent like that. Coming and talking to, like I said, someone you can trust. I am always here. I am not bothered. I am not agitated. Like, don't call my phone. Don't bother me. Don't text me. Don't. Eh. I do not mind if you feel comfortable enough to come to me, DM me, or text me, call me if you've got my number. If you don't have it and you want it, I'll give it to you. No problem. Um, and so, just finding someone that you can trust, that you can confide in, that you can, learn to apply some coping strategies. Again, whatever some coping strategies may be for you guys, feel free to share them and help out some of the other people in the chat right now. If, there's something else that maybe you do that I didn't mention. If shopping, they call it retail therapy, is really therapeutic sometimes. Hey, go for it. Girl, you got it like that. Just think of me while you're in the store, okay? Um, and yeah, just make sure you are trying to minimize your stress levels. Something that a friend told me this week is life goes on. People's problems are not your problems. That ain't got nothing to do with you. You can't fix it. So don't worry about things that you cannot fix, you cannot control. And I know that's easier said than done a lot of times, especially when it comes to um, your job or people you love and care about, friends and significant others and things like that. And so, just, but sometimes you just kind of have to take that step back and be like, you know what? Let me take some time for me. Let me just get over here and breathe and stuff a little bit. Um, and I got you, girl. I love you. Mean it. I got you, babe. Love you. Mean it. But I'm praying for you. I'm trying to be supportive as I possibly can. But yeah, I'm gonna be over here. Okay. So keep that in mind. Like I said, y'all just be mindful as well of not, as a matter of fact, just let's just put in the comment section, erase the stigma. Okay, because and that's something I want to really focus on. And if I didn't mention it before, this is something that I would like to spend a little more time talking about than I have done with topics in the past. Um, because I think it's so important for us to, just really be mindful of where our mental health is, where our emotional health is, how we cope with stress, how we deal with whatever the issue is, whatever it may be in your life. Okay. So, and do that safely in a safe space, in a judgment-free zone. So just, y'all, we're erasing the stigma of you going to see a therapist. Oh, okay. Well, what's wrong with you? You on medication for anxiety, for depression. Let's get rid of that, y'all. Let's do away with that because we, everybody is not on a level playing field when it comes to how you deal with things. So that's another key point is deal with things the way you deal with them. Okay. Whatever works best for you. All righty. And so to that end, we are going to get ready to sign off for this evening. But before we do, um, I wanted to just kind of bring some things to y'all's attention and a few reminders about things to come or things that we've already talked about. For one, I have not received any DMs because we have made it through the first half of the year, and I haven't gotten any DMs or emails or anything as of yet about who invited who. If you invited a person or people to be a part of the community here that we have, um, please, please, please let me know as soon as possible in some way, shape, or form. Reach out to me because I really do have stuff, y'all, that I want to give away. I like to give people stuff sometimes. It's maybe you could say that's therapeutic for me. I don't know. But yeah, let me know as soon as possible and I will give some gifts. And then the next thing that I want to say to that end, I want to do a couple of giveaways, basically gifts tonight. And so I have seen Miss Michelle Smith and Miss Jasmine Farrell, who have commented and said a couple of things in the live stream chat tonight. I believe, Michelle, you were the first person that I saw. So if you can, please, I think you've got my number. So please text me an email and I will be sure to get your gift over to you ASAP. The same thing for you, Miss Farrell, Miss Jasmine Farrell. Because I've got y'all's comments that I'm looking at right here. And y'all, I do not mean to overlook anyone. It's my studio that I'm streaming from is so if there's anything that I missed that somebody said, um, it's only showing me a limited amount of stuff and I don't know why. I'm gonna learn how to work my technology better and yeah, I promise y'all that. And to that end, be on the lookout. I am going to start posting some things or going live essentially in between the times that we do this on every other Saturday. So just little quotes and um, words of just advice and little snippets, 5-minute videos, maybe 10, stuff like that. That'll be a little shorter than what we usually do on Saturdays. So be on the lookout for that. Be sure to turn on your post notifications. If you have not already, follow the Facebook page, follow the Instagram page, like, share, and subscribe to this page and this channel. And don't forget as well to um, be sure to participate in the hashtag that initiative. I am still doing that. Basically, if you missed out on it, I just am encouraging you all to do something positive, be caught doing good. Snap a picture of it or have somebody else snap a picture of it for you and either post it on your own page and tag the Becoming Instagram page, which you can see it at the bottom of my screen as well. Or send it to me and I'll post it to our community page. Okay. And make sure you use the hashtag that, just to kind of spread some positivity, spread the love, spread some joy in the world. If you're doing something like I just wanted to go, you know help people that are less fortunate than I am, or whatever the case may be. It can even be family or friends, somebody but don't, hand them something that they really and then go, hey, hold on 1 minute, stuff real quick. Try not to do it that way. But, like I said, be caught doing something good. Okay. Alrighty. So that is about all I have for y'all for tonight. Also, Jasmine, please feel free to either, if you would feel comfortable, drop it in the comments, your emails. I can send something over to you as well, or DM it to me, however you would like to do it. Okay. All righty. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in tonight. And I look forward to seeing y'all again in the future. Okay. Keep becoming better and have a great couple weeks. I'll see you soon. Bye.